A very good evening to everyone. Today's topic is storytelling as a pedagogy, which comes under domain 2. So let's begin the session with open minds and shared goals of growing together. Let's learn, reflect, and inspire one another. Let me share the screen. Here we go. So let me introduce myself. Vishakha. I'm an educator, childcare education expert, certified phonic educator, yoga trainer, and of course, wellness is our superpower. So I'm a nutritionist also. Now, in the last, I would say I am a magical storyteller also. So let's begin the session. Today's topic is storytelling as a pedagogy, a powerful tool to inspire, engage, and educate. So my first question is, one of the Steve Jobs said, most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values and agenda of an entire generation that is to come, which is written by Steve Jobs. Now my question is, do you cook? Of course, if someone says no, still the answer will be yes. Yes, you do cook. How? You cook something every day, not with the spices, but with words, emotions, imaginations. You cook stories. Every human being is a storyteller, whether they know it or not. Some serve their stories quietly, some serve their stories boldly on big stages. But we all are similar experiences into meaning, which means we all go through life collecting moments, emotions, memories, and lessons. And over the time, we reflect on them, process them, and turn them into wisdom or stories. So let's begin. Now, basically, what is storytelling in education? Storytelling in the powerful art of using narrative to convey lesson, ideas, or concepts by weaving together emotions, characters, and plot stories which transform information into engaging and memorable experiences. Truly saying, in my experience, when teaching begins with a story, learning begins with a smile. Now, through storytelling, emotion make content relatable and easier to retain. Characters provide perspective and human connections. It basically adds structure and drives engagement. More than just that, a teaching tool, storytelling helps to forge deep personal and cultural connections. It helps in bridging diverse backgrounds and experiences. It actually turns abstract ideas into meaningful understanding. Now, in short, if we understand what basically a pedagogy, pedagogy is the art, science, and a method of teaching, where it refers to how a teacher plans, delivers, and evaluate learning experiences to help students understand and grow. Growing in the manner of academically, socially, and emotionally. So, finally, in short, we can say pedagogy is the way teachers teach and students learn. Coming to the next slide. Now, why use storytelling as a pedagogy? Let's take one by one. Number one is makes learning fun and engaging. Very true. Why? Because children love stories. Stories grab their attention more than plain facts or lectures. If I give you the example, while teaching honesty is the best policy, instead of giving a moral talk, narrate the story of a honest woodcutter. Children will easily connect better and remember the lesson. Number two, enhances imagination and creativity. Because stories helps children visualize, think beyond and imagine new ideas. For example, while teaching about animals, tell a story about the jungle party where all the animals come together, then ask the children to create their own animal characters and stories. I hope you all agree with me. Number 3, builds language and vocabulary. Because listening to stories improve children's listening, speaking, and vocabulary skills. During the story session of Very Hungry Caterpillar, children learned days of the week, food names, and sequencing. This is how you can add these things in your class. Number 4, encouraging critical thinking and problem solving. Because stories often have problems that characters must solve, which encourages children to think over it. Coming to the next one, number 5, promotes moral and emotional development. Now, stories teach values like kindness, sharing, respect, and courage. For example, if you take the example of rainbow fish story is to teach about sharing and being kind to others. If you all remember it, give me thumbs up in the chat box. Yeah, perfectly. Number 6, improve social and communication skill. Now, here I will say role plays and retelling stories help children express themselves confidently. For example, if we are telling the story of Goldilocks and Three Bears, let children act the characters, let them learn expressions, tone, and teamwork. Next, coming to the point, connects learning with real life. Why? Because stories help children relate that they learn to their daily lives. For example, story about a child planting a tree teaches science, but the plant growth teaches science. Side by side, we are learning social values which create saving environment. Next slide. Educational benefit. Now, how we get the benefit through pedagogy? Number 1, cognitive. It actually improves memory and understanding. Children remember stories better than facts. Help them make sense of new ideas. Supposingly, if I give you the example, telling the story of water cycle adventure helps children to understand science concept like evaporation and rain. Number 2, language. It actually enhances vocabulary and fluency. It introduces new words in the context. It improves speaking, listening, and comprehension. Now, here I would give you the example. If we are telling the story of Red Little Riding Hood, children learn words like forest, grandmother, basket, etc. Next one, social benefits. It promotes collaboration, critical thinking. Children discuss and share their ideas. It helps in group work, listening to others, and role playing. For example, if I say, telling a story of tortoise and the hare, children can discuss. We all are here, and children would say, was the hare wrong here to rest? So you can easily promote thinking and teamwork level among the students. Next and the last one, emotional benefits. Emotional benefits, if we talk about, it connects learners to content deeply. Stories touch feelings and help understand emotions, builds empathy and emotional awareness. Here also I would give you example, the rainbow fish. Rainbow fish helps children feel the joy of sharing and being kind. Number next, storytelling in different subjects. Now, if we can easily correlate with all the subject, yes, storytelling as a pedagogy, it will really help in our classroom to teach kids. Number 1, if we take the first subject, language, English, Hindi, any other language, our main purpose to enhance reading, learning, vocabulary, speaking, and creative writing. Here also I'll give you the example, the talking tree. Talking tree teaches sentence structure, storytelling, skills, and descriptive words. You can give the activity, children can create their own endings and draw the tree they imagine. Next is maths. Now, if we talk about maths, our main purpose to make abstract concept concrete and fun. For example, if you take the story example, Rani's mango. Rani picks 10 mangoes and gives 3 to her friend. Now, this story easily help in understanding subtraction. So, use story problems and let kids act them out with the object. Next subject, environmental studies, EVS or science. Now, here our main purpose to explain nature, health, season, animals, etc. even through storytelling also. Nilu's journey as a water drop. Explain the water cycle in a fun way. You can take the activity story map of Nilu's journey, evaporation, clouds, rain, and river. Next subject, social studies, or we can say it moral science, where our main purpose to teach values, culture, community, and citizenship. Here, example would be the honest shopkeeper, which teaches honesty and community values. So discuss the values and create story puppets. Next subject, art and craft. Now here our main purpose to inspire imagination and creativity. For example, if you take the story, The Magical Crayon, a crayon brings drawing to life. So you can give the activity, draw a scene from the story and color it using the magical idea. We can do that. Next one, music and dance. Now, in music and dance, our main purpose to blend rhythm, movement, expression, and learning. For example, the drum that could talk combines music with storytelling. Here also you can create an activity. Children create sounds for different characters using classroom instrument. Supposingly they can bang on the table desk with the hand. So there will be a different sound creating in the class. Next one, life skills and emotional development. Here, our main focus is to teach empathy, emotional development. Where the main purpose serves, we can give the example of Meena finds a friend, where a shy girl learns to open up and share. So you can easily create an activity where role play scenes or group sharing circle activity is going on. Next one, let's talk about techniques of storytelling. Now, you all may be using the techniques in the storytelling as you all are educators, but we are at the common platform where we can share our ideas with each other. First is use voice modulation, gestures, and expressions. Now, storytelling becomes powerful when we use different techniques to make it interactive, fun, and memorable for young learners. Number one, if we talk about voice modulation, change your voice tone to match different characters. Example, soft for fairy, loud for lion. Use facial expressions to show emotions like surprise, fear, joy. Add hand movements and the body gestures to act out the part of the story. Number two, visual aids and props. Use puppets, picture cards, flashcards, or story maps. Simple props like hats, masks, or toys make story come alive. For example, use paper crayon while narrating Greedy King story. Or you can use the stuffed animal while telling the story of Lion and the Mouse. Next, number three, encourage student participation. Ask children to repeat words or sound like animal noises. Let them predict what happens next or act out characters. Use call and response storytelling. And the king said, then again student will reply, what did he say? So there will be a curiosity and to encourage among students to listen the story properly. For example, if you take another story, The Monkey and the Crocodile. Let student act like a tree, river, or animal. Let them come out with their own ideas. Use digital storytelling tools. Now here I would say you can play audio stories or story animated videos. Use story apps, slides with images, or smartboard illustrations. Record children retelling stories using your phone, iPhone, or tablets. For example, here, how can you use this technique? Use video story of very hungry caterpillar. And then let the kids retell the story using pictures on the screen. Next one. Types of stories used. There are a number of stories in different categories. Now we as educators, we need to decide what type of story is related to our topic which we are going to teach in the class. So using variety of story types helps build imagination, values, understanding in young learners. Number one, if we talk about personal stories are the stories based on storytellers' real life experiences, which actually builds trust, connection, and relatability. Example, a story about first time I went to the school. Number two, fairy tales. Now, when we talk about fairy tales are the stories with imaginary characters like fairies, witches, kings, and talking animals, where our main purpose is to encourage imagination and teaches moral lessons. For example, Cinderella, Snow White, and Frog Prince. Number three, animal stories. Now, where we talk about animal stories, those stories were where animals act and talk like humans, where the main purpose is to easy for children to relate and often teach values. Example, lion and the mouse, tortoise and the hare. Next, coming to the next type of story, traditional stories or folk stories. Folk tales or traditional stories are the old stories passed down from generation to generation, where main purpose is to teach culture, values, and wisdom. For example, Tenali Rama story, Panchtantra story, or Akbar Birbal story. Next one is moral stories. Moral stories. Moral stories are the stories with a clear message or lesson, where purpose is to help children understand right versus wrong. For example, the honest woodcutter, the boy who cried wolf. Next is concept based stories. Now, concept based stories are the stories created to teach school subject like maths, science, EVS, where main purpose is to make learning concept fun and easy. Example, Nilu the water drop, which help us to teach water cycle, or Ravi's mango, which help us to teach subtraction. Next one, fantasy stories. Fantasy stories are the stories with magical lands, creatures, or superpowers, where our purpose is to boost creativity and curiosity. Example, Alice in the Wonderland, Harry Potter, the magic pencil. Next one, digital and visual stories. Now, digital or visual stories are the stories told using audio, video, pictures, and animals, where main purpose is to keep tech-savvy kids engaged with rich visuals and sound. For example, short animated stories on YouTube like Peppa Pig, Panchtantra tales, which are animated only. So you can use these types of stories in the class. Next slide. Now, storytelling action in the classroom. So, using storytelling, as I told you before, using storytelling in the class goes beyond reading a book aloud. It includes interactive activities that bring lesson to life, build language, and deeper understanding. Number one, beginning a lesson with a story to hook student. So basically, before the session was going on, I was telling you we need to connect with the hook activity for the kids and how it captures attention, sparks curiosity, and prepares the mind for learning. Start an EVS lesson on a seasons with a story, Tina and the Magical Umbrella, that travels through sunny, rainy, and snowy lands, which actually give the effect student get excited and connect emotionally to the topic. Number two, let student retell a story where you can easily assessment and recall also. How? You can easily check comprehension, sequence recall, and vocabulary use. Example, after reading the story of Lion and the Mouse, ask children to retell in pairs using puppets or their own words. How it affects? It actually develops speaking skills, memory, and understanding of story structure. Number three, role playing characters, which is of drama based learning, which makes abstract topic real and enhances empathy and expression. For example, in a history or moral science class, children act as historical characters like King Ashoka, or a postman from the past, and even the talking tree for the EVS topic, where it actually affects, it boosts confidence and deepens concept understanding, which makes learning memorable. Next, last one, creating comic strip, which is again a language integrated activity. It connects storytelling with grammar, writing, and visual learning. For example, ask student to create a comic strip using past tense verbs or new vocabulary words they have just learned in the class, which reinforces the grammar in a creative and student-centered way. Next slide. Now, when we talk about integrated storytelling with project-based learning, number one is develop group stories around a project theme. Children work in groups to co-create a story that connects with the main theme of their project. Now, how it works? Choose a theme relevant to your project-based learning. Example, healthy food, saving water, kindness. Each group create characters, setting, and a problem solution structure. They narrate or act out their story to the class. For example, if you are taking healthy eating theme, student create a story titled The Adventure of Carrot and Broccoli, where veggies friends save their town from junk food villains. They incorporate facts about the nutrition they learned during the project. Number two, create a storytelling project on environmental awareness. Now, the main strategy is to student research an environmental issue and build a creative narrative around it to present their learning. How it works? Begin with a real world problem like pollution, deforestation, endangered animal. Guide children to imagine a story that shows the impact and solution. Use role play, puppet shows, or digital storytelling tools. Supposingly, here you will take a theme of saving water. So your title will be Nina and the Magic Tap. So girl discovers a tap that speaks and teaches her how water is being used. She and her friends start a water saving mission in their neighborhood. Number 3, document a learning journey as a story. Now, a strategy will be turn the project process itself into a narrative, turning children into storytellers of their own learning experiences. Now, how it works? It encourages students to write or draw each stage of their project as chapters. Use journals, comic strips, or digital slides to tell the story. For example, plant life cycle project. Now, student write a story titled From Seed to Sunflower, where a seed narrates its transformation, including children's own planting process and observation. Coming to the next slide. Assessing through storytelling. Number one, assessing understanding of concept, where our main focus to check how well children grasp academic content by listening to the ideas woven into their stories. And how to assess? Listen for the facts, vocabulary, or cause effect relationships embedded in the story. Ask children to include learned information naturally through characters or plot. For example, if your project is life cycle of a butterfly, so you can create a story, a caterpillar named Milo talks about it changes into a butterfly, describing each stage with correct terms: egg, larva, pupa, adult. Now, how you will assess? The assessment will be, are they using accurate terminology? Can they sequence events correctly? Number 2, assessing language and communication skill. Now, here also our main focus to evaluate grammar, sentence structure, vocabulary, and fluency in speech or writing. How to assess? Observe clarity of the expression during oral storytelling. Use checklist for the sentence variety, vocabulary, richness, and storytelling structure. Beginning, middle, and end. For example, a story prompt, magical day at school. So you can assess them. Did the child use complete sentences? Did they use linking words like then, next, suddenly? Did the story flow? This is how you can easily assess them. Number three, creativity. Assessing creativity and imagination, where the focus is to measure originality, inventive ideas, and the ability to think beyond the obvious matter. How to assess? Look for a unique character, creative settings, and original plots. Give a prompt that allow open-minded responses. For example, prompt is like, if I had a wing for a day. So you will assess them. Did the child create a unique adventure? Did they imagine new words, magical animals, or funny challenges? Next is assessing social and emotional understanding, where the focus will be stories can reveal how children understand feeling, empathy, conflict, resolution, and values. Now, how to assess? Observe how characters respond to emotions like anger, sadness, or fear. Look for the messages of kindness, teamwork, or helping others. For example, if our theme is friendship and inclusion, so story will be Tina the turtle learns to share. Assessment, how you will assess? Did the story show emotional insight? For example, how Tina felt lonely or happy. Were social values clearly expressed? This is how you can assess on social and emotional understanding. Last, written storytelling as assessment, where the focus will be to assess both content knowledge and writing mechanism through story student written stories. Now, how to assess? Provide simple writing prompts connecting to the theme. Assess based on rubrics, ideas, grammar, spelling, organization. For example, our project theme is Clean Earth. So our prompt will be one day I turned into a tree. How you will assess? Did the student write relevant points about pollution? Is there a clear storyline? Are there beginning, middle, and ends part? So basically the tips for the teachers will be using a use rubric with the child friendly icons like stars, smiley faces. Let children illustrate their stories if they struggle with the writing. Record oral stories or the storytelling for those who are not confident in writing. Celebrate all stories, encourage every child's voice and expression. Next slide. Here comes challenges and tip. Number one challenge is short span of children. Don't worry, I have tips also. Definitely, we all will discuss together. Number one challenge is short attention span of children. As you know, primary kids may lose interest quickly if the story is too long or slow. So here is the tip. Keep students short, keep stories short and lively and interactive. Use questions, use repetition and sound effect to keep them involved. Break long stories into parts. Number two challenge, limited language or vocabulary understanding, where children may not understand complex words or sentence structures. Use simple language and age appropriate vocabulary. Explain new words using pictures, actions, or real life examples, which encourages repetition and role play to reinforce vocabulary. Number three challenge, managing diverse learning levels in one class. Some children grasp quickly while others need more time or support. So here is a tip. Use multisensory storytelling. Use pictures, use audios, use sound, use acting part. Let faster learner help retell the story or become co-narrator. Give options. Listen, act, draw. Somebody will listen, somebody will act, somebody will draw, or somebody will write the story. Next, number four challenge is lack of resources of prop. Now, teachers may not always have puppets, visuals, or digital tools. So, here is the tip for all the educators: use handmade or simple props. Paper crown, just like I told you before, the paper crown for the greedy king, cutout mask. Involve students in making story pops as a class activity. Use voice, facial expressions, and gestures effectively even without props. Number 5 challenge: difficulty in connecting stories to curriculum. Now, how difficulty in connecting stories to curriculum? As we already talked about before, teachers may struggle to align storytelling with learning objects. So, choose or create concept based stories. For example, math story, number stories, Ravi's mango, water cycle journey, the Nilu drops. Each story End each story with a short discussion or a worksheet linked to the topic. Use storytelling as a starter activity before teaching the actual lesson. Number 6 challenge, and the last challenge: limited time and schedule. I know busy timetable leaves little room for storytelling sessions. But we can use the tip here also. Integrate storytelling into daily routine. For example, during your circle time or before your lesson, use micro stories around about 2 to 3 minutes to introduce or end a topic. Blend stories into lessons across subject like maths, EVS, English, etc. Coming to the conclusion part, we say storytelling is not just an entertainment, it's education. It builds imagination, depends understanding, and makes learning memorable. For example, a story about a lost puppy can teach empathy, vocabulary, and sequencing all at once. It nurtures both heart and mind. Stories touch emotions, foster critical thinking. Example, if I say here, the folktale on honesty can spark moral discussions while strengthening listening skills also. So let's make classroom a space where stories come alive. Use storytelling not as a break from teaching, but as a powerful tool for it. If I would share my experience here, in my experience, I would say when teaching begins with a story, learnings become with a smile. Storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world. Thank you, everyone. I hope I have shared some valuable insight that you can take back and use in the classroom. Please feel free to share your feedback. I would love to hear your thoughts. I will be back with more such ideas and resources to support your teaching. Thank you once again for being such a lovely audience. Have a wonderful day ahead. Your presence and participation made my session truly engaging. Thank you so much once again.